this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what most creators are getting totally wrong about thumbnails and click-through rates and why this is so important for your channel. I manage a ton of different channels. I've lost count. I've been doing this for a long time, so I think it's important. I think this will really help your channel. So we all know the typical advice, right? You want more clicks, a higher click-through rate. That depends on your title and your thumbnail. And then people are thinking, then they get into the hook, how much watch time and this whole thing. I want to counter that narrative, and then we'll think about how you can apply this to your own channel, because there's a lot to think about here. So watch this. If I click on this, I don't really watch this podcast, but I've heard of it. Dark Horse podcast with Brett Weinstein and his wife, Heather Hying, I believe it's pronounced. Almost knocked that over. Now, this is done very well. More than 500,000 subscribers. But let's look at the thumbnails, and then we're going to talk why. Let's look at the thumbnails, the titles, and then why this is working. Look at this. California's Blue Coup, the 329th evolutionary lens, blah, blah, blah. Streamed only one day ago. So more people watch a live stream. Still got 17,000 views just yesterday. Okay. Now I'm going to click very quickly and just watch the start. You might think, oh, this is going to have a killer hook, right? Watch this.
To you and to everyone.
Not the start. What?
Hey, folks. Welcome to the 329th Dark Horse podcast live stream with me, Dr. Brett Weinstein. I don't usually mispronounce that. Dr. Brett Weinstein and you, Dr. Heather Hying. To you and to everyone.
How long is this? More than 2 hours. Now, check this out. If you put up a podcast or a video like that, right, with a small channel, with that title, that thumbnail, and that intro with no hook at all, it's like doing all the wrong things. You would have like a 0 point, you'd have almost no click-through rate unless it was just you clicking on it yourself from different accounts. All right, nobody would click on it. And if somebody somehow did click on it, they would be gone in like 2 seconds, right? So the question is, why are they able to succeed while doing this? And what does that mean for you? Now, don't say, well, they have 544,000 subs. They haven't always had that number, but they've always been doing this type of they give thumbnails and titles a total afterthought. I'm not saying you should do that, but why do people click on it when they're clearly so bad? They break every single rule. It is because they have built up trust. If I go through all trust with their audience, all right? So people look forward to it. As soon as they see, like if I search Dark Horse Podcast or somebody does, as soon as they see it in the feed, what do they look at? I'm just going to pull this thing up so I can write on my screen. Think about the information that comes in addition to the title and thumbnail. And people don't talk about this and why it's important, okay? So imagine your feed, this shows up. What do people see? Yes, they see the title, the thumbnail. That's part of it. But they also see this. They see your channel logo and the name of it. And let's see what else they see here. Like this one. They see how many weeks ago it was done, how many views, and who it's from. Now, those things, that's what you want to focus on. That's what you're trying to build. If you can have an audience who, no matter what thumbnail you put up, and no matter how bad your hook is, and no matter how bad the title, once they see it's from your channel, because in the past they've seen other videos, maybe somebody recommended it to them, they watch it and they like it. They don't necessarily click like, but they actually like it and want to watch more. That is what you're trying to build, okay? Because then slowly or even quickly, you will start to build up a real audience that watches it. And then as you're improving your thumbnails and your titles and everything, then you can get more new people, and the new people stay on. See, the problem is if you go backwards and they say, think of the title first, the thumbnail first, think of the hook, and then all of a sudden it's some like crazy thing. People are super curious to click on it. And you're like, okay, I'm going to tell you 6 ways to do whatever. And the sixth one's crazy. So stick around to the end and don't forget to like it, blah, blah, blah. And like the editing's going crazy and everything's going wild. You might get a few people to click on it and even watch it because they've kind of fallen for that trick. But after a while, even after one video, even if you get them to stay on it, if at the end of it, they sort of feel like, you know what, I didn't really learn anything there, then the next time they see your channel, like maybe this even happens 2 or 3 times and they'll click on it. But if you keep doing that format where it's obvious that you're thinking about title, thumbnail, hook, and you're dragging it out so that people want to, stay on, and then like the content itself is sort of an afterthought, it's almost like you have an anti thumbnail and an anti title, because no matter how good it is, it's like the boy who cried wolf story, that once they see who it's from, they know what kind of stuff you make. And if that's the kind of stuff you make and they don't really enjoy it or learn anything from it, or if it's, it might not be just enjoyment or learning, whatever the reason is, if they're not getting fulfilled, then every time they see it, no matter how good it is, then they're not going to click anymore, right? And then it's going to be harder and harder and harder to build up an audience. So if you really think, okay, like I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself, because thumbnails and titles and all this stuff are important, but in a way for a different reason. It's for getting new people to click and give you a chance, but that has to be secondary, because you really need to think, am I building something? Am I making something that anybody likes? Even if you can get people to click for a while, if no one actually, like, forget the number of likes on the video, right? Just if nobody like says to themselves, I like this channel, I want to watch what they have to say. If that's not a thing that's growing, then you're really going to be stuck. All right, no matter how good the titles and how good the thumbnails are, because remember, the more people that view your channel, the more people, almost like they might be the perfect audience, but if you screw it up, then like if they don't like your videos, then they're not going to want to watch the other ones you've made, and they're certainly not going to want to watch the next ones that you've made. So you're taking your audience and you're telling them, here's a channel that you won't want to click on no matter what, because you know this channel stinks or it's just not for you. So anyway, something to think about. You're trying to build people who actually like and want to watch videos because they're interested in it. The other gimmicky stuff can sort of work against you when people feel that. So authenticity is a big one. Think of what you're trying to say. I don't know. I think there's a lot to think about in here, and it should give you a different way to kind of flip around what you're thinking when it comes to, I got to make this killer thumbnail and this great title, and then the people have to be hooked in the first 30 seconds, because that can backfire, right? Because the more people that see it, if you're not really delivering where people say, you know what, I really like this, I'll even wait through 30 seconds of rambling or 2 minutes of rambling sometimes, whatever. That's the audience that you want, that they're going to sit through anything. Not that you want to waste their time, but they like you enough that you come on camera, no matter what you say, they're going to stick around because they know that the good stuff's coming in the video. That's what makes them share. That's what makes them stick around. And that ultimately is what makes YouTube start to show the thumbnail. And that's how it goes. So anyway, a lot to think about there. I'm making this on Podsplice, just a little plug for it. That's what the channel is. All the videos we're creating, the shorts that we create with it, all done with Podsplice. So easy to use, so enjoyable. I'm making content for several different channels. Obviously, this one's not monetized. I have some monetized ones. I can just go one after the other. Check it out. It's the best to use. Anyway, love to know what you think in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.